You know what I'm about. I'm about the bars. I'm about the talent over politics. I'm about the culture. That's why I want y'all to check this new cypher out. It's the worldwide cypher takeover. I'm about to take over the world with these bars. Let's watch.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free suitcase. Pack your bags, we're going places. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back with, well, kind of a reaction series. You see, there has been even more discussion since Snoop Dogg has come out with the controversy of Eminem. And I've seen some Twitter fingers, you know, tweeting away, some things being said about Eminem. And it is getting to a level now where it's starting to get, it was already out of hand in the first place, but now it's getting much worse. And yes, everyone is entitled to their opinions. So I thought that while people are entitled to their opinions, why don't we hear from someone who is a point of authority on all of this? I'm talking about none other than King Crooked. But before we go any further, guys, if you like the intro, the worldwide cypher takeover is happening tomorrow. We have a special guest on it. If you can guess who that special guest is, I got a special little prize for you. So comment down below who you think that special guest is, who's going to be introducing and co-signing the cypher. And let me tell you guys, we have 11 spitters on this, and these verses are going to be crazy. I can't wait to give you guys the bars and the wordplay and what you expect from me, from this channel, and from the other artists that are on this. So stay tuned, because the worldwide cypher is coming tomorrow. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Back to Eminem. And back to King Crooked. I don't want to take too long talking because I know he's got a pretty long video, so let's hop into it and let's break it down.
Rap connoisseurs, what's good?
I know this isn't even a song, and I'm already stopping it for a breakdown. First line, rap connoisseurs. I just love the way that he puts that, man. Like, he's just so cultured and wise, and he just like added some suave to it, didn't he? With just putting it in that way. But this man is a true lyricist, and you know us, we appreciate lyricists over here. And if you haven't listened to King Crooked besides on Music to Be Murdered By, I highly recommend you guys go check him out. He did a dope album with another member of Slaughterhouse, Joel Ortiz. Go check that out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to post a link below to it so you guys can go see how dope Crooked is, man. A true lyricist who has been in it for a long, long time. Rap connoisseur.
Rap connoisseurs, what's good? Hope y'all hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Yeah, so look, man.
Hit that subscribe button.
Well, first and foremost, I like to say justice for Breonna Taylor. And for all victims out there, you know, it's a lot going on in the world.
There is.
Some things are more important than others. You feel me? So I'm going to just set it off like that. But, as a matter of fact, not even a but. Let's talk some rap. You know what I mean? Let's talk some rap, what we do.
Okay.
I've been noticing something over the past couple years. It's been creeping up. You know what I mean? It ain't just like super in the face to me. And I'll explain to you why I don't believe it's just plain as day right now. You know what I mean? But it's been stirring up. You know what I mean? People have been, okay, like a couple years ago, a wave started. A wave that I never really saw before, you know what I mean? Inside of the culture.
Wow. Talking about there being something bigger and something deeper going on right now. That this has been planned. That what we're seeing and some of the actions that are happening now are the fruits of seeds that were planted 2 to 3 years ago within the culture by the machine itself. This is a collective agreement. This is huge. And he's got to be going on about Eminem right now because look at the title. Is some shady shit going on? I mean, that's a double right there because it's shady what's happening, but also dealing with Marshall Mathers, who is Slim Shady.
Now, outside of the culture, I've seen people not like this particular artist because of his content, because of, um, controversial things he was saying in his music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like early M, man, early M was heavy with controversy. You know, there was a lot of homophobic slurs that he used. He used to talk about murder, like killing Kim, just killing haters. I mean, he really made people's heads turns. And he was constantly in the news, and he had legal problems and just so much going on. He had protests going on against him. Like, early M definitely turned off a lot of people to him and to rap. But at the same time, early M and M throughout the years has just gone beyond the people that were turned away from it, because he's one of the reasons that so many people are tuned in to hip hop and mainstream now and into rap and still appreciate lyrical rap. But we'll get into that. Let's see what Crooked has to say.
Outside of the culture, a lot of people had a problem with this particular artist. But inside the culture, a lot of people respected this artist because the skill level was immaculate. The writing was masterful. And that artist that I'm talking about, of course, is the homie Eminem. A couple years ago, I started noticing little, people making little comments that was kind of weird when it came to talking about Marshall. You know what I'm saying? It started to seem as if somebody had an agenda to try to push him out the culture. And I noticed this like in 2018, you know what I mean? 2019.
Wow. I mean, wow. That's crazy, though, because let's look at King Crooked's history. All right, this man is from the days of Tupac. This man was signed onto the label with Suge Knight. Suge Knight used to have potential artists who the label was going to sign come and battle King Crooked. And if they could beat Crooked, they would get signed to the label. But if they lost, they wouldn't get signed. And Crooked said he would get death threats because of this, said he used to be just put through the ringer from it. I mean, this man came up through the fire, and he has paid his dues. And if anyone has a voice and authority to understand what's going on in the industry, it's him right here. So if he sat here saying something big like this is a big conspiracy theory. Let's not get this twisted, man. This is a huge conspiracy that he is trying to cast light on. That there are people behind the scenes that are plotting and planning and trying to remove M from the culture. Think about the repercussions and the implications of that. So, the Snoop Dogg situation that has just happened, he's saying that is planned. That is just one of a number of circumstances and instances where various people in the industry are planning to try to remove M's credibility from the hip-hop culture. And it's no coincidence that Snoop's saying things like, Eminem's music, I can live without. But Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, and these artists, I can't live without their music. You see that? You see what he's doing? You see the seeds that are being planted right then and there to make you start thinking, oh, okay, like here's someone within hip-hop that's come up through it who's saying that hip-hop doesn't need Eminem, but hip-hop needs some of these other artists. And that's where it starts. And then it starts becoming okay to talk that way. And then other celebrities start talking about that. Other people start sharing it. Other people of influence. And then you see how it builds. And all of a sudden the rhetoric and the story changes. And it's crazy because this is one example of something happening to M. But this stuff happens all the time in a number of different industries. Like you can sway public opinion via social media and influencers in a careful, calculated plan and routine.
Feel me? But it was just like a small movement. And then it started growing. You know what I mean? It started growing. And to me, it's just odd. As a guardian of hip hop, I talk about everything. You know what I mean? First of all, let's get that straight. When it comes to rap music, I talk about everything under the whole spectrum of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like many artists we discuss it. The connoisseurs, y'all know. We discuss all types of projects, all types of rappers, all types, you know what I mean? But when I start talking about Marshall, you know, people get bothered by that. You know what I mean? But I'm not here to care about how people feel about, you know what I'm saying, something that I want to express. Take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why you got to respect Crooked, because he always keeps it 100. He's going to speak his mind. He doesn't care how this makes his image look to other people in the industry alongside him. He is always going to speak his mind. We have a channel right here where a certain person likes to speak their mind and always keep it 100 with you, whether or not you agree with it or not. This man is very educated. He's very smart. He expresses his opinion well, and he's very informed on the industry, and he's got a great pen himself. So he is a valued source of authority to speak on something like this. Let's jump a little bit ahead now of this interview.
If we erased or got rid of Marshall Mathers, Eminem's entire discography right now, would hip-hop be affected? If you just totally deleted his existence from hip-hop, would hip-hop skip a beat? Would it be affected? What would happen? Now, of course, his fans were like, hell yeah, it would be affected. You feel me?
So right here, he's talking about a tweet that went out and that a lot of people have retweeted, saying that, you know, if you took away M's discography, would hip-hop be okay without it? Would hip-hop still thrive? And a lot of people are like, yeah, because hip-hop doesn't need M.
And some people were saying no. You know, a lot of people said no. And that's what kind of made me sit down and do this video right here. You know what I mean? Because I was surprised that the certain people who were saying hip-hop would not be affected. You know what I mean? Now, these people aren't experts. Like I said, they just verified accounts with big platforms, but that's where it starts. You know what I'm saying? That's where you start normalizing shit. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? People with big platforms start saying certain shit, and it becomes something normal to say. You know what I mean?
Right there. Right there. So well put, but so true, though. How you can start changing the course of a conversation and what people are now talking about around Eminem. Because no matter what, you might disagree with that opinion, but now it's got you thinking about it. Now it's got you thinking and leaning a certain way like, does hip-hop really need M? Maybe I should question it a little bit.
People who aren't really qualified to answer that question. Now, we get online and we answer a bunch of shit we not qualified to answer. You know what I mean? I'll engage in a conversation with somebody
Facts,
like me
man.
and ask me my opinion. And I might not be an expert on the topic, but I still might just give my opinion. You feel me? So that ain't nothing. We all do it. You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? But I was really surprised. I was surprised that so many people said that we could do away with Eminem's whole catalog and the game, and it wouldn't affect the hip-hop game whatsoever. That's crazy.
I got asked this question in Discord in terms of when we talk about top lists for hip-hop artists. And it basically was along the lines of, you know, who has more authority to give an opinion, whose opinion should we value more, like a fan or a critic or an actual artist themselves. And I said, you know, it's a double-edged answer because music is subjective. You know, you are not going to like what I like. There are going to be certain songs that I bump and that I relate to that you don't relate to. And music also depends on moods and emotions. Sometimes you just want to have fun and not think. Other times you want something that's more thought-provoking. You want things that challenge you. Everybody has different tastes depending on their moods. And that's the beauty of music. And music is so subjective. And I don't want to take away from the fact that, you know, you are entitled to make an opinion of what you like and to voice that opinion. But at the same time, we need to separate what is subjective and going on in your mind and your opinion from what is objective, if we're trying to lay it out in an objective way, like these are facts, like we want to lay out criteria, like lyricism, like wordplay, like delivery, like themes and creativity, those types of things, if we want to measure those different variables and be objective, that's when many people can't give an opinion on that because they aren't doing it themselves, or they haven't been thoroughly involved in the industry, worked around artists, and understand what goes into it, and appreciate the pen and appreciate an artist's true value. And that's kind of what Crook is pointing out here, is that a lot of people are expressing these opinions, and yeah, they're free to express it, but they don't speak from a place of authority because they don't appreciate it. But he's taken this even a step further, because there are some people who can speak from a place of authority, who do understand the game, who are also taking shots at M. But then you have to question, is that done objectively, or is that done because they have an agenda against M and they have a reason for now wanting to take shots at Slim Shady?
Crazy right there. So my whole thing is, we starting to get into crazy town a little bit. You know what I mean? We starting to go into some goofy shit.
Yeah.
Real talk. You feel me? Like, and I'm only saying this type of shit because I'm a guardian of hip hop. You know what I mean? Y'all who follow
Respect,
me and know
Crooked.
me, you know I'm going to speak on the health of hip hop. I'm going to speak on, you know, being there to support people's sobriety. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about going in the booth with me. If we going to be guardians of hip hop, it's about giving flowers. You know what I mean? I just send out appreciation tweets for different rappers that motivated me, inspired me, or just touched the world, you know?
And how much has M given back to hip hop? How many times has he shed light on the greats? Music to be murdered by. Let's go look at the number of artists from old school hip hop that M referenced, that M shouted out. And even you guys commented when we did some of the songs. Wow, I had never heard about this artist. I'm going to go check him out now because of this reaction, because of you pointing it out, because of M pointing it out. And if M didn't do that, there wouldn't be such an appreciation for lyrical hip hop and for some of these greats that came before us. He is always paying homage to the OGs. It's crazy, man. I'm going to jump a little bit ahead because this is a long video and I don't want to make a super long video. I just want to hit some of the key points from this.
Interested in hip hop. If he's nowhere to be found in hip hop, we don't know where that leaves 50 Cent. We don't know where that leaves the fans, the millions of fans that were exposed to rap through him. We don't know what that other chapter of Dr. Dre's career looks like. What about all the rappers he influenced who have said, you know, publicly that some of his albums changed their lives? You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick, like Tyler, the Creator. You feel me? Like, where do they draw that inspiration from? Now, true indeed, they can go draw it from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That they could find it, but they found it in him. You know what I mean? So it would be a ripple effect. It would be a...
There it is, what he's saying. Let's look at the artists who have come up now after M. And we just broke down the song Caterpillar, didn't we? And how these butterflies nowadays need to show respect to the caterpillars like Royce and like Eminem, because you don't get a butterfly without a caterpillar. And you don't get hip hop as it is today and some of these artists that we value without Eminem. It's just a fact. It's a fact. Kendrick has come out and said how much of an influence Eminem was on his music. J. Cole also came out and said how much of an influence Eminem was on his music. Logic did the same. So many artists that we appreciate today, Joyner Lucas, influenced by Eminem and what he has done. And Crooked made another good point, and I think I missed part of it, where he's talking about fans who weren't fans of hip-hop before, that are now fans of hip-hop because Eminem blew open the gates for a bunch of people who didn't listen to hip-hop before to now start listening to hip-hop. And as they dove deeper into hip-hop, they started to appreciate other artists and break away from Eminem. But Eminem was the reason that they first started listening to hip-hop, that they first got into rap. If you guys like this channel, you like the breakdowns and everything that I'm doing for these artist, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Eminem. This channel would not exist right now if it wasn't for Eminem, and those are facts. He was a huge influence on me. Being a white boy in a black community doing rap and hip-hop, do you know how much I related to M and how much he inspired me and influenced me in my own music and then made me appreciate the culture and dive further into it? I mean, these are just facts. And one of the biggest artists who I am a huge fan of, 50 Cent. Where would 50 be without M? We don't know. And the great thing is, we don't have to answer those questions. And the same with Dre. Yeah, Dre was a dope producer. Dre was great. We know that. We're not going to deny that. But I think that it goes two ways. And what Snoop said didn't fully do Eminem justice, because not only did Dre help M, but M also helped Dre. When you have someone who is as talented with the pen as M and as great of a writer as M, that gave Dre so much more to work with and even brought out a better Dre than what we have seen in the past.
From my perspective, my personal perspective, right? When mumble rappers was getting all the record deals, all the advances, the marketing budgets, everything that every rapper aspires to get at some point in their career, even though it's a lot of independent rappers who don't want deals, true indeed, but when the labels was giving their bag to mumble rappers, Eminem was signing real spitters. You want to take that off the table?
Thank you. Thank you. I made a tweet about this a little bit ago. If you appreciate lyrical rap, I don't understand how you don't have Eminem in your top 10 list today. Because he is one of the very reasons why lyrical rap is still getting mainstream attention. He's signing lyrical rap artists. Music to be murdered by. He is putting out albums and songs that shed light in the current mumble rap era when so many mumble rappers are getting big and famous. Eminem is still here, still doing it, still helping people to appreciate true artistry and true hip hop and what lyricism is about.
Do you want to take...
The boom bap is coming back with an axe to mumble rap. That's from Caterpillar. I love those lines.
That off the table? And from a writer's perspective, see, I could sit here and talk this shit because I've been in the game for 20 plus years, busting them syllables down.
Exactly.
So I could sit here and talk this writer shit all day. From a writer's perspective, my perspective, if you delete Eminem's entire discography, you are erasing a master class on lyricism and how to write. You're erasing it. The next generation of writers, hip-hop writers, all right, lyricists, not somebody that's looking for a cool melody that they could sell a catchy fucking rap with. I'm saying the lyricists. If we're going to get down to the bones of this situation, the lyricists, you erase Eminem's catalog and you are getting rid of decades of a master class in lyricism.
Facts. Facts. And those of you who subscribe to this channel, those of you who follow me, you've seen how we break down Eminem's lyrics and we appreciate everything that goes into it. And you guys say, you have a joke. You call me Professor Knox and you say, hip hop class is back in session. But we are studying one of the greats. That's what we're doing when we're a breakdown reaction channel here. We are breaking down one of the greats and giving you a masterclass that Eminem has laid out for us. I mean, this is stuff that any aspiring artist should study and can learn from. And this is a man who is nice with a pen. This is a man who is an elite lyricist, right? Crooked, he needs to be in people's top lists. He has authority to say these things. And it's so true. If you just look at the wordplay, the schemes, the delivery, it's the total package of penmanship. And that's what M brings. And without M, so much of hip hop does not exist as it does today. Let's not take away from the impact that Eminem has had on the culture and had on the game. I'm sick of this discussion. We need to end it right now.